What's good, YouTube? My name is Harris and you're watching another episode of BRG MX5. In this exciting episode, we get started on the boosted turbo snail forced induction build. But first, let's clean up the car.
Keep my money. Okay. Take my money. Hey. Take my money. Alright. There's this guy.
Hey, what you doing, cat? What you doing? Oh, look at that.
Woo! Now that we finished with dinner, let's clean up the far side of the garage and bring the car inside. Now, time to get into more comfortable clothes. So before we even get started on the turbo build, there are a couple things that I need to square out. There are a couple things that I need to square away on the car, in the car, before we even touch any turbo bits. What I'm planning to do maybe is to do like a mini series before the turbo build. Maybe I'll call it like the pre-turbo build. And on this list, I've got remove charcoal canister, remove the front bumper, remove the AC system, and then install the bigger fuel injectors. Now, I know you need bigger fuel injectors for a turbo, but it's not necessarily, you don't need a turbo to have a bigger fuel injector. It's definitely recommended, but I'm just gonna group these four things, these maybe 4 individual videos on a pre-turbo build. It doesn't help that I'll be moving house soon, so I kind of want to end this mini pre-turbo series before we move, just so that the car is still drivable. So when we get to our new place, I'll be able to jack it up and actually spend some time putting turbo stuff on. With that being said, let's open the bonnet and crack on. So the first thing I want to do is to remove the charcoal canister. Alright, the first thing you want to do is remove this vacuum line here, which goes into the solenoid, and then you can remove this hose here, because this big black box, well, circular cylinder thing, is the charcoal canister. Okay, next you can go ahead and remove the bigger fuel line, I guess you can call it, with the hose clamp here. There's also another fuel line at the bottom of the charcoal canister, so when you remove it from its mount at the back, make sure you do the bottom fuel line. Whew, that was close. Now that we've got the big cylinder thing out, I'm just going to clean up
the yuck stuff inside there. I don't know if you can see, but there's some like branches at the bottom. You can also remove this green bracket, which is just 2 bolts at the bottom, 2 nuts at the bottom, and then we'll tackle these few lines in a second. Okay, now you can remove the solenoid, which is on the top left hand corner here, where my ratchet is. Oh, there's a nut underneath. Alright, once you cracked open the nut, don't forget to remove the connector connecting to the solenoid. I'm gonna tape the connector up and tuck him away underneath. I think this is the igniter. I'm just gonna tuck it underneath this guy. And the next step is to bridge the bottom hose, hardline, with the top hose. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull both of these hoses off and then find the best part of the bends of the hose, cut it up, and then join both hard lines together. And while I do that, I'm going to remove that green bracket too. Ah! Don't forget this black plastic thing that I clearly forgot. Okay, the top hose removed. Now let's remove the bottom one. Ah! Got him! Alright, now I just need to join that hose to that one. And the delete is done. As you can see already, there's a lot more space now, which is always a good thing in an engine bay. And after what seemed like ages, I finally got the little adapter in there. So, whew, what's supposed to be an easy job turns out to be like a 20-minute job. Anyway, the last thing we gotta do is plug up this port on the intake manifold. And there is a plug similar to this one behind the rear taillight, and it would fit just right in. He's that little guy right there. And that is it. If you removed your coolant overflow line like I have, make sure you put that back. But otherwise, this delete is done. I might go ahead and continue cleaning inside there because that is just nasty.